Hi, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we'll just quickly revise carbohydrates through these one-liners, and hopefully, I don't think so I'll be able to control them and complete them in just one video. So I'll just do it in parts. So this is just for a rapid revision sort of thing. So let's just get started. So first question is units of raffinose. So as you know, raffinose is a type of oligosaccharide, and it is nothing but trisaccharide. So it has glucose, galactose, and fructose. Now, simplest carbohydrate of biological interest is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate Now, the general test for carbohydrates is a Molish test. So, Molish test. Then reducing sugar test, we all know it is Benedict's test. Then monosaccharide versus disaccharide is FMB, which is F for Fehling test, then Moore test, and Barfoed test. Now this Barfoed and Fehling are like typical questions that they ask from this. Aldose versus ketose is Salvinov test, then rapid furfural test, and Folger's test. Now in this test, certain things, Salvinov test basically gives cherry red color with ketones, and you know ketones is fructose, so it's positive for that. Then to detect deoxy sugar, this is simple Fulgen's test. For pentose PB, we have Bial's test. Galactose is mucic acid test. Then next question, C2 epimer of glucose. C2 epimer of glucose is mannose. C3 is allose, and fourth is galactose. Okay. Now let's talk about the inulin linkage. Now inulin linkage, first of all, you should know that it is fructose and it is beta 2-1 linkage. Then glycogen linear mein it is alpha 1-4, and in branched it is alpha 1-6. Cellulose is again made up of glucose. It is beta 1-4 glucose linkage. Hyaluronic acid, in this now you have to name the counterparts. Now here's just a little thing that you should know. Basically all of these will have uronic acid, but our alone carotene sulfate will not have a glucuronic acid, but it will have galactose. So if you forget somehow, so just remember you have a uronic acid here, also you have uronic acid here, also in heparin also you have a uronic acid. Okay, then here also uronic acid, here also. Now the main is to remember the next part. So in this now it's very easy. If you see dermatan sulfate, and there's one more keratin sulfate. No, not keratin, chondroitin. Yeah, written the spelling wrong, so it's chondroitin sulfate. Now both of these have galactosamine. Okay, plus galactosamine. Okay, then coming on to keratin sulfate. Now in hyaluronic acid we have N-acetyl glucosamine. Then in keratin sulfate we have galactose, and again now all of the others have glucosamine in them, so you can remember it that way. Okay, then there's a question in which ioduronic acid can be present. So it can be present in heparin and dermatan sulfate. Now intracellular, like all the mucopolysaccharides are extracellular except heparin, which is present in mast cells, and heparan sulfate, which is present in the ganglions. Okay, synaptic vesicles. So synapse, you can just remember synapse. Okay, then coming on to the mucopolysaccharidoses. So in this, like there are 5, and you have to know them by heart. and the enzyme which is deficient in them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So first of all, we have the famous Hurler disease. In this, shy disease is also there, and there is deficiency of L-isoronidase. Then MPS 2 is Hunter. Okay, see, first you have Hurler, then you have Hunter. Okay, don't forget that. Then in Hunter you have the deficiency of iodouranate sulfatase. Then 3 is San Filippo. Now this has a lot of enzymes. Okay, no need to remember any of them. Then MPS 4 is Marotox-Lamy syndrome. Sorry, Morquio syndrome. Morquio syndrome. In this, basically any enzyme which is related to galactose, so galactosamine. Okay. MPS 6 is Marotox-Lamy syndrome. In this, deficiency is of N-acetyl galactosamine 4 sulfatase. Now this is like one OP question. So Marotox-Lamy syndrome is related to which cyst? Okay, you can answer that in comments. And MPS 7 is Sly disease. No need to remember the thing. Now you need to know that all MPS are autosomal recessive except the Hunter, which is X-linked recessive. MPS with no mental retardation, the last ones, so you can remember it as shy, basically MSM. Okay, so Morquio and Marotex. Then with no corneal clouding, so you have to remember that it is present in Hurler, but it's absent in Hunter and San Filippo. Okay. Then with no visceromegaly, so visceromegaly is a very common feature of mucopolysaccharidosis, but it's absent in Morquio's disease. Now let's talk about the location of the glut. So glucose transporters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So first of all, 4. 4 is present in skeletal muscle, adipocytes, adipose tissue. We can write adipose tissue, and heart. Then glut 5 is in intestine, epithelium of intestine, basically to be specific, luminal side. Okay. Then glut 1, blood brain barrier, blood, RBC. Glut 2 is liver, pancreas, and neurons is glut 3. So glut present in placenta is glut 1, and I don't know, once there was a question, so if you want to remember you can remember, but it's your choice. Blastocyst, the glut present is glut 8. Okay, so like very vague, so for us especially. So insulin dependent gluts, now very important, all of them are insulin independent gluts, but some of them are dependent, which is 4, 8, 12. Just remember the table of 4. Then urate glut transporter is glut 9. This was also a question. I know it's very vague to remember all these, but you have to remember because they were just asked once. So now let's talk about the glycogen storage diseases. So glycogen storage diseases, type 1, which is von Gerke. First we'll just write the names. 2 is Pompe, 3 is Corey's, 4 is Anderson, 5 was McArdle, 6 is Hers, 7 is Taroy, and 8 and 0. We'll just talk about them later. So most commonly asked question, the enzyme absent in von Gerke. So like you have to know it. It is glucose 6 phosphatase. Okay. Then in Pompe it is acid maltase, or you can call it as lysosomal alpha 1,4 glucosidase. Then Corey and Anderson, easiest way is remember A, B, C, D. So with Corey we have D, branching enzyme, whereas in Anderson A, B, so we have branching enzyme. Now branch, if you have watched the glycogenolysis and glycogenesis video, then you will know this by heart. Like, it's not that you have to cram it. Through that video this will help you to remember, so like go do watch it. So debranching, so if you remember, it was amylo alpha 1,6 glucosidase, and our branching was glucosyl 4,6 transferase, remember. Now this is also commonly asked mecardal, so this is nothing but muscle phosphorylase. Hers is not usually asked, but you can remember liver glycogen phosphorylase. Now this steroid is important. I think this is important, but it's not usually asked, but it might be asked. So this is due to phosphofructokinase deficiency. Okay, now 8 and 0, this is just like just for completion. So this is phosphorylase kinase, and this is glycogen synthetase. Okay, now let's talk about the deficiency present in a hereditary fructose intolerance. So it is aldolase B, right? Aldolase B, and the essential fructosuria. So in that we have fructokinase and galactosemia enzyme deficiency, like a big name. So galactose 1 phosphate uridyl transferase. Okay, now let's talk about these diseases and the enzymes deficient in them, and like what occurs due to the enzyme deficiency, like deposition of what occurs. So this is important. So first we have is Niemann-Pick disease. So this is like very commonly asked. So there is sphingomyelinase deficiency, and obviously there is the increase in that. Then Gaucher's is due to beta glucosidase. Krabbe is due to beta galactosidase. Okay, Tay-Sachs, you have to remember this, hexosaminidase 2. Then alpha galactosidase is Fabry, whereas Farber is ceramidase. Okay, you have to like cram them, there's no way out. Sandoff is again hexosaminidase type A and B. Now these 60, 61 and 62 are not that important. Again, I would say just for the sake of completion I have added them. Okay, this is, I'll just do it with the pen. So metachromatic leukodystrophy is due to sulfatase enzyme. Okay, and this is gangliosidosis is due to galactosidase. Same for this. Now this is lactosyl. Okay, so yeah, here you can remember the cherry red spot in retina. So these are the one-liners of carbohydrates. I will be covering more as I study, and if you like this video and if this was helpful, you can subscribe to my channel, like the video, share and comment on it. Yeah, and you can also comment the answer for the Marotax-Lamy syndrome associated with which periodontal cyst, which odontogenic cyst, if you'll yeah. So thanks for watching.